welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Today, we're diving into some fantastic idioms and phrases, all drawn from a recent SpeakDuo lesson.
That's right. And if you want to practice these phrases, and, many more, you can visit SpeakDuo.com.
Yeah, it's a great place to meet new people from around the world, practice English on video calls, and really boost your confidence.
Definitely. So let's get straight into it. This is for all our advanced English learners out there.
Okay, first up.
To dive into something.
Right, to dive into. What does that actually mean?
Well, it means to begin something enthusiastically and in detail. It really shows commitment.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite different from, say, to casually look into something.
Or to browse.
Exactly. Those suggest something more superficial, maybe just exploring. But to dive into implies like a deep, focused,
passionate start.
Yeah, passion. It's full immersion, not just looking from the sidelines. You really get involved.
Think about work. A boss might say, our team needs someone to really dive into this new market research.
Implying it's complex, needs real focus.
Right. But I'm confident we can uncover some key insights if we commit fully.
And for an IELTS example, maybe about hobbies?
Good one. You could say, regarding new hobbies, I recently dove into photography.
Instead of just, I started photography.
Exactly. I'm completely hooked, learning about apertures, composition, editing techniques, far beyond just taking snapshots. Shows real depth.
Okay, nice. So diving deep often helps us understand things better, right?
It does, which brings us neatly to our next phrase, to shed light on something.
Ah, to shed light on, meaning to make something clearer, easier to understand?
Precisely. But there's a nuance here, too.
How so, compared to just explain or clarify?
Well, to explain or to clarify is more about just conveying information. To shed light on often implies that new information or a fresh perspective has come along.
Ah, so it illuminates something that was previously maybe obscure or complex or misunderstood.
Exactly. It suggests a kind of revelation, maybe a deeper insight, like a light switching on in a dark room.
I like that. So you might hear in a meeting, the latest internal audit really shed light on some inefficiencies in our supply chain.
And what does that allow?
Allowing us to implement targeted improvements?
It reveals the problem so you can fix it. Perfect. Or for IELTS, talking about an impactful experience. A powerful documentary on climate change truly shed light on how urgent the problem is.
Moving beyond abstract data to show its real-world impact. It made it clear and understandable on a different level.
Got it. So gaining these insights, shedding light on things, sometimes that helps us focus differently, maybe on the present.
That makes sense. Which leads us to live in the here and now.
To live in the here and now. It means focusing on the present moment, right? Not getting stuck in the past or worrying too much about the future.
Yeah, it's similar to being present or being mindful. But I think to live in the here and now has a stronger emphasis on, like, actively letting go.
Letting go of past regrets or future anxieties.
Exactly. It's a conscious choice to ground yourself right where you are, in this current experience. People often use it as a coping strategy, or even a life philosophy.
Right. It's not about being irresponsible. It's about focused attention.
Definitely. So in a work context, maybe during a tough project.
During high-pressure projects, it's crucial for the team to live in the here and now.
Focusing solely on the task at hand.
Rather than dwelling on past setbacks or worrying about future deadlines.
Keeps everyone focused.
And personally, maybe for an IELTS question?
Do I find it easy to live in the here and now? Not always. I tend to worry about the future, but I'm learning meditation to help me appreciate the present moment more effectively.
That's a great example. And focusing on the present sometimes means accepting that certain past things, well, they just don't matter anymore.
Yeah, they have no connection, which brings us to bear no relation or to bear no bearing on something.
Right. This means something has no influence or effect on something else. No connection at all.
And it sounds a bit more formal, maybe more emphatic than just saying it's irrelevant or it has nothing to do with it.
It really does.
It strongly asserts that complete lack of connection. You might use it when you're trying to dismiss an argument or a perceived link. It denies any logical or practical tie.
Okay, so at work, while his past experience in marketing is extensive, his previous company's niche market bears no bearing on our current strategy for consumer electronics.
Clear separation. His past experience isn't relevant here.
Exactly. Or for IELTS, maybe reflecting on past experiences, can you think of a situation where the past had no bearing on the present? Yes. My old exam results, though poor, had no bearing on my job interview because my practical skills spoke for themselves. The past didn't impact the present outcome.
Got it. So if something has no bearing, maybe it's because that path led nowhere?
Ah, like it was a dead end. Our next phrase,
To be a dead end. It means something leads nowhere, offers no future, no result.
it's stronger than just saying something was a failed attempt or pointless, isn't it?
I think so. A dead end specifically implies there's no future progression possible down that path. No opportunity, no viable way forward.
Right. It suggests it's kind of irreversible in that direction, not just a temporary setback.
Definitely. So maybe in a project review. After months of development, we realized the initial product concept was a dead end in terms of market viability.
So we pivoted to a new approach. They had to change direction completely.
Exactly.
Or an IELTS answer about life choices. Have you ever felt like you were in a dead-end situation?
Absolutely. My previous studies in a field I wasn't passionate about felt like a dead end before I changed majors and found my true calling.
It felt like there was no future there.
Makes sense. Now, when you're facing a dead end, or maybe trying to change course, understanding how other people feel is often really important.
True. Which leads to our next one. To gauge someone's feelings.
To gauge feelings, trying to understand or sort of measure how someone feels about something.
Yeah, and this one feels quite subtle. It's often indirect, right? You're carefully trying to assess their emotional state or opinion.
Usually before you take action or say something significant.
Right. It's not just asking directly, how do you feel, or just watching their expression. It's more like reading between the lines, picking up on subtle cues.
A very useful skill, especially in leadership. Like, before proposing the new budget cuts, the CEO spent weeks informally meeting with department heads to gauge their feelings.
And anticipate potential resistance.
Testing the waters first.
Exactly. And for IELTS, maybe about social skills. Do you find it easy to gauge people's feelings?
Not really. I often misread people's moods or intentions, which can sometimes lead to misunderstandings.
Acknowledging difficulty with that subtle skill.
Okay. Gauging feelings. That can be especially critical when resources are limited, perhaps. When people might see things as,
As a zero-sum game, our next phrase,
yes, zero-sum game. A situation where one person winning means another person has to lose.
right, the gains and losses cancel each other out. And this is actually a term from game theory, isn't it?
It is. So it's more specific than just saying a competitive situation or a win-lose scenario.
Yeah, it implies a fixed amount of whatever's being distributed, resources, benefits, points. Any gain for one side is exactly balanced by a loss for the other. The total change is zero.
That precision is key. It's often used when talking about finite resources. At work, some departments might view budget allocation as a zero-sum game.
But our goal is to find efficiencies that benefit everyone without creating internal rivalries, trying to avoid that win-lose mentality.
Good example. And for a more philosophical IELTS question, do you think life is a zero-sum game?
No, I don't. I believe that through collaboration and innovation, we can all succeed and create value without necessarily taking from others, rejecting the zero-sum view.
Nice. Okay, so whether we're in a zero-sum situation or not, when we evaluate success or progress, we need some kind of standard measure.
Which brings us to our final phrase, yardstick.
Yardstick, a standard or measure used for comparison.
So how is it different from, say, a benchmark or a criterion?
Good question. While benchmarks and criteria can be specific points or rules, yardstick often feels more like a fundamental guiding standard, a widely accepted measure.
Ah, like a key point of reference, maybe broader?
Yeah, often more foundational. And you can think of its literal origin, an actual yardstick, a tool for measuring length. That gives it a sense of being a solid standard.
Right. So in business, while profit is important, customer satisfaction has become our ultimate yardstick for success in this company.
The main standard they measure against.
Exactly. Or for a personal reflection, in IELTS, what is your yardstick for personal success?
For me, my yardstick is whether I feel satisfied with my work and if I am continuously learning and growing, not just financial gain.
Defining your personal standard.
It's interesting how it can be objective, like profit, or quite subjective, like satisfaction.
Definitely versatile.
Okay, I think that covers our phrases. Ready for a quick quiz?
Let's do it. Test our understanding.
Right. We'll give you the question. 3 options. We'll do a few questions, then pause for you to think.
Sounds good.
First question. What does it mean to dive into something?
Option A, to casually browse a topic without much interest.
Option B. To start something eagerly and with focus.
Option C, to abandon a project and change direction completely. Remember, dive into something.
Next up. What does shed light on something typically mean?
Option A, to make something clearer and easier to grasp.
Option B. To offer a humorous or sarcastic take on a situation.
Option C, to stop discussing something because it's controversial. That's for shed light on something.
And one more for this group. What does it mean to live in the here and now? Option B. To stay emotionally connected to your childhood.
Option C, to focus on the present moment rather than the past or future. What about live in the here and now?
Okay, feel free to pause the podcast here if you need a moment to think about the answers for those 3.
All right, should we go over them?
Let's do it. For what does it mean to dive into something? The correct answer is B.
B, to start something eagerly and with focus.
Exactly. Remember we talked about diving into that project or hobby with real energy, not just browsing like in option A.
Right. And for what does shed light on something typically mean?
That one is option A, to make something clearer and easier to grasp.
Like the audit shedding light on inefficiencies, making things clear, not humorous or avoided.
Precisely. And the last one from that set, what does it mean to live in the here and now?
That has to be C, to focus on the present moment rather than the past or future.
Correct. Like using meditation to appreciate the present, not chasing trends or dwelling on childhood.
Got it. Ready for the next batch?
Yep. Next question. If someone says, this has no bearing on that, what do they imply?
Option A, it has no impact or connection to the matter.
Option B, it is closely related and should be considered.
Option C, it completely overshadows the situation. Thinking about has no bearing on.
Okay, next. What does it mean if a situation is a dead end?
Option A, it leads nowhere and offers no future prospects.
Option B, it opens up new opportunities unexpectedly.
Option C, it presents multiple branching choices. What is a dead end?
And one more for this group. If someone is trying to gauge your feelings, what are they doing?
Option A, measuring how intensely you express emotions.
Option B, trying to understand how you feel about something.
Option C, encouraging you to ignore your emotions in decision-making. For gauge your feelings.
All right, another chance to pause the podcast here if you want to think these through.
Okay, let's look at the answers.
For if someone says this has no bearing on that, what do they imply? The answer is A.
A, it has no impact or connection to the matter.
Right. Like his past mistakes having no bearing on his current success. It negates any connection.
Makes sense. And what does it mean if a situation is a dead end?
Also option A. It leads nowhere and offers no future prospects.
Like that job felt like a dead end, so he quit. No future there. The other option suggests possibilities.
Exactly. And for if someone is trying to gauge your feelings, what are they doing?
That's B, trying to understand how you feel about something.
Yes, like the CEO trying to gauge feelings before making cuts. It's about understanding, not measuring intensity or ignoring feelings.
Okay, nearly there. Just 2 more questions.
Last 2. First, what is a zero-sum game?
Option A, a scenario where everyone wins or loses equally.
Option B,
A system where one person's win means another's loss.
Option C, a game that focuses on cooperation rather than rivalry. What exactly is a zero-sum game?
And the final question, how is a yardstick used in language?
Option A, as a metaphor for a goal one wants to achieve.
Option B, as a tool to measure someone's physical strength.
Option C, as a standard by which something is evaluated. How do we use yardstick?
Okay, one last opportunity to pause and think about these final two.
Ready for the final answers?
Let's wrap it up. For what is a zero-sum game? The answer is B.
B, a system where one person's win means another's loss.
Exactly. Remember the fixed resources idea. Gain equals loss. Not everyone winning losing equally, A, or cooperation, C.
Right. And finally, how is a yardstick used in language?
The answer is C. As a standard by which something is evaluated.
Like customer satisfaction being the yardstick for success. It's the standard for judgment.
Precisely. While it relates to evaluation, it's not primarily a goal itself, A. It's the measure.
Great quiz. Hopefully that helped solidify those phrases.
Yeah, that wraps up our deep dive into these advanced English vocabulary and phrases for today.
We really hope you enjoyed exploring the nuances and, the practical uses of these expressions.
And for more lessons, more practice, don't forget to visit SpeakDuo.com.
That's SpeakDuo.com. Also, keep an eye on your email for the daily quiz and the podcast review.
Keep practicing, everyone.
And we look forward to having you back for more superbly said phrases next time.